channel. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you. Probably most of you are. It is the first time because I'm relatively new at this. If you've seen some of my other videos and you've come back for some more, definitely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Every one of you for watching. So last video I did was on my father's 1937 Plymouth. I gave you an overview of that and whatnot. Took you for a little ride in it, showed you some stuff about that. So this time around, oh yeah, link for that will be in the description. This time around I figured I'd do something a little different and I'd go to the opposite end of the spectrum. From 1937, let's jump to 2013. This is my vehicle. This is the only one I have right now. I don't have any other vehicles or motorcycles or anything like that. I have a 2013 Volvo S60. I bought this, well I didn't buy it, I leased it. And I got it in 2014 as a leftover, and it was a demo. So I got 2 discounts on it right off the bat because of that. I got it because I had a 2009 Mini Cooper, John Cooper Works. I bought that before there was any thought of my daughter, and once she came along, it was a pain in the ass trying to get her in and out of that back seat of that Mini Cooper. So one day I got fed up with it, and I got to work, got on the computer, contacted a leasing agency, and the guy called me, said, "What are you looking for?" I told him I want a black car, 4-door sedan. It's got to be, have a leather interior that's heated, sunroof, and European. I didn't want American, I didn't want Japanese, Korean, or anything like that. Well, I guess you could technically say this is a Chinese car, seeing how it's owned by a Chinese company now. But those are my prerequisites. And he came back with this a couple hours later, sent me some pictures of it and whatnot, and told me about the great deal that was on it. I said, what the hell? I need something. I'm sick of this car not being able to get anything, the kid in and out of it easily. So I went with it. That same day, I got off work 5 o'clock, went over to the leasing agency. They had the car sitting there because they went and picked it up from the dealership that had the car. I test drove it. It met all the requirements I was looking for at that time, and I walked away with it within like 45 minutes of getting there. It's a pretty painless process. Fast forward to almost 4 years later. When I got the car, I had 2,500 miles on it. Almost 4 years later, we're at the end of 2017, beginning of 2017, and it'll be 4 years since I've had the car, or 18. I now have 69,763 miles on this thing, and it's treating me really well. Even though I'm not over the moon and back about it, and I'm not 100% satisfied with the car, it's been a good car. I would never buy one again. I'll get into that a little bit later, but it's been nice. And this particular one is the Premier trim level, which isn't quite the base, even though I consider this a base car. It's like one step up from that, but it's nowhere near like our design or anything with a Polestar badge on it. It's definitely nothing like that. This is as base as pretty much as base as a Volvo gets, with a couple of options in it. This particular one has the T5, when the T5 meant something. Nowadays, a T5 is a 4-cylinder turbo, and I believe supercharged at the same time. Back in 2013, T5 meant it was a turbo 5-cylinder, and the T6 meant it was a turbo 6-cylinder. This one's a T5, which is the 250 horsepower, 266 foot-pounds of torque, and it's enough to propel this thing to 60 miles an hour from standstill in 6.6 seconds, according to Volvo. Motor Trend, I think, was able to do it in 6.4, and that is for what I have being the automatic front-wheel drive. I didn't opt for all-wheel drive because I didn't need it. So I live in Texas, and we don't get very much snow here in Dallas, so I didn't need it. I grew up in New York. If I lived there, I probably would have said I needed something with all-wheel drive, or I would have bought a 4-wheel drive truck like I used to have up there. So back to the Volvo. It's got beige leather interior. Don't ever get the beige leather from Volvo unless they change the leather material they use. This particular one is a pain in the ass to keep clean. Wearing jeans like I do most of the time, the the coloring, the dye from the jeans wears off and it sticks to this leather like crazy, so they constantly look like they're dirty, and I'm having to clean and condition them all the time, so I bring them back to an actual beige color without having a blue tint to them. You can tell it's jean dye because it looks like a blue jean coloring on it. So that's a pain in the ass to do. The front seats are electric and heated, and the driver's seat has memory functionality to it, which is nice to have. I got the sunroof like I wanted, and I didn't go with any high-tech stuff, so it doesn't have like the radar sensing, LiDAR, whatever the hell it is they use for the cruise control. I don't have the lane keep assist, anything like that. There's no cameras on the car for backing up or anything. The only piece of technology it has is something that's called like city protection, city mode, or something like that. Whereas if you're doing less than 30 miles an hour and its consensus it's going to hit a pedestrian or a car in front of you, it will stop the car. That's actually activated on me just once, and that was my own damn fault. I was on a highway in bumper-to-bumper traffic doing less than 30 miles an hour, and I took a second to look down at my phone, and within that split second I almost rear-ended a car, but had it not been for the Volvo, I would have, but it stopped. And warning sound went off, scared the crap out of me because I'd never heard the noise before, and when I looked up and looked at my instrument cluster, there was a thing stating what had happened. It had activated, so that was pretty cool. At the same time, scared the crap out of me. It's a very comfortable car to drive and ride, actually. Even though it is more on the luxury side and it's nowhere near a sports car, it handles all right. It's a little nimble here and there when you need it to be on the highway. It's quick enough for what you would probably need in a Volvo. Most of the people that buy these anyways, it's quick enough for. You can get it, getting on highways from the on-ramp, it's pretty quick, so, and passing cars, it's pretty quick. It's very comfortable, like I said. I take trips from Dallas to Houston to visit my father, and you can drive in this thing all day long, especially with the seats being as comfortable as they are. They have some bolstering to them a little bit here and there. Even though the leather on them sucks, they are still comfortable seats, so that's nice about it. The infotainment system's nothing special. It's not a touch screen. Basically, all it has is AM/FM radio. There are auxiliary port for it to run an iPhone. It's not like a Apple Play or anything like that. It doesn't even have navigation. It does have satellite radio, which I do use, and I do subscribe and pay for. The navigation is something I didn't think I needed, but I learned quickly that I regret that decision. My next car will have navigation in it. Next car I get will also be a standard, unlike this current car. I definitely want to go back to a standard transmission. I miss shifting the gears myself. This car doesn't even have paddle shifts. It wasn't even an option to have paddle shifts on a Volvo in 2013. It's been a reliable car. It has only left me stranded once, and I wasn't really stranded. It wouldn't start, but the battery died out of nowhere without any warning. So jumped it, thing started, put a new battery, went and got a new battery, put it in, no problem. So it's left me stranded once, wasn't really stranded, battery died out of nowhere, replaced the battery after getting it jumped, and thing was fine. The only other things I've had to do with this, regular maintenance, oil changes over every 10,000 miles in this because it uses synthetic oil, and I've had to replace air filter, pollen filters. You have to do that. Had one alignment done on this. That was at 10,000 miles, believe it or not. I couldn't believe I had to do that at 10,000 miles, but it did need it. So, but I haven't had any problems with the alignment since then. It's still let go of the steering wheel, it goes straight down the road. It doesn't veer left or right at all. So kudos to the Volvo dealer that did the alignment. It's still good today. And I've gone through one set of tires so far. Replaced them, it was last year, so it was about 15,000 miles ago. Coming up soon, I am going to have to do a four-wheel brake job on this. There's plenty of meat left on the pads when I looked at them, but the rotors are warped and they're grooved. So you automatically have to replace the pads for that. So I might do a video on doing the brake job on this. I've never done one on a Volvo. I've done plenty on Volkswagens and some other cars and stuff like that, basic brake jobs, but never done one on Volvo. It's probably going to be pretty much the same though. Other than that, nothing else has been wrong with the car. It's got the black exterior paint, which is really cool because it's got like a brown metal flake in it, and depending upon how the sun hits it, it almost looks like a brown. It's a brown paint. A friend of mine says it's like reminds him of root beer almost. So, and he's kind of right. Other than that, she's been good. No complaints other than the shifter boot. And whenever they produced it, whenever they made the shifter boot, it was too tight. So over time of pulling it from park to drive, it's kind of disengaged itself, and I got to replace that. The other cool thing about the shifter though is that it does light up. I didn't know that when I bought the car. I realized it the first time I drove it at night. When I got in it and started the car up, I was like, oh wow, look at that, the shifter lights up. So that's pretty cool. Back seat's good enough for the kid, and I have had 2 adults back there with the car seat, so it's plenty big enough, and there's plenty of leg room back there, so there's no complaints from that. Trunk wise, trunk is pretty good. Like I said, I go to take trips to Houston to see my father, and there's myself, my girlfriend, and my kid, and I've never had to leave anything behind and not take it because I didn't have enough room in the trunk. Everything's always fit, so definitely okay in that looks. And the seats fold down, and I've hauled plenty of bigger items, IKEA furniture and stuff like that, because you know it all comes unassembled. So long stuff. So fit in there without a problem. Put the seats down. So it's been pretty good with that. Would I buy another one? No. I'm not that happy with it. It's just not me. It's a good car. It's no knock against the Volvo brand. No knock against the car itself. It's just not me. I bought it out of necessity. I didn't buy it out of want. And when you buy something out of necessity, you're never 100% happy with it, and a lot of times you end up with buyer's remorse. And I do have buyer's remorse with this car, even though I do like it. About a year after I got it, I started thinking, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? And I keep coming back to one specific car. And if I don't get that specific car, I'm going to go with a full-size truck. And not being brand loyal, what I've decided is it's going to be either an F-150 or a Silverado. Those are the 2 I like the most. But my number 1 choice is a muscle car. And I mentioned the kid and plenty of back seat room for the kid. That kind of rules out the Mustang and the Camaros, even though I do like them, and they are great cars. There's just not enough back seat room for a kid back there, let alone an adult. So it's just too tight. I know people have put car seats in them, but I want something with a little more room. So what's that leave you with? Challenger. I love the Challenger. I think they're a good looking car. They're heavier. Yeah, they're not the fastest things in the world. They're not really made to go around corners, but that's not really what I was looking at. It checks off all the other boxes I was looking for. It's got plenty of power. I would go with probably a Scat Pack with a standard transmission and navigation. I would do suede seats. I don't have to have leather seats, but I'd want a dark interior, definitely. And I don't even know if I really care about having the sunroof or not, because I do use it, but in the summertime, it's so damn hot here in Texas, you can't use it. You start sweating driving down the road. Nobody wants that. And so one of the ones I do like is the Scat Pack with the TA package. Those are really nice. I like how they look. So if that's around still, that's an option. But like I said, it's a little over a year away, so there's some time. And as often as Dodge likes to change their available options on cars, especially with the Challengers, who knows if it's going to be the TA is going to be an option, because it's going to be a new one. I don't think I'm going to go with a used car. It's going to be a new one, so we'll see what happens. And stay tuned for that, because we'll do a video when that time comes around. So that about concludes this. I'm about to my ex-wife's house to pick up my daughter. She's going to spend the weekend with me, and we're going to have some fun this weekend. I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by, watching my videos. go ahead and give it a like if you liked it. And if not, okay, that's cool. Either way, no biggie. Feel free to subscribe and continue watching. Not doing this to get rich or anything. It's not my full-time job. I have a full-time job that I really enjoy, and I love doing what I do. So maybe I'll get into that another time, but this is just a little hobby of mine, I guess you could say, and where it goes is where it goes. So appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. Hope you're enjoying everything and anything you do. And peace out, Girl Scouts. I'll catch you on the flip side.